executive chair of Nano Nuclear as well, the hottest IPO in the United States in 2024. That, of course, Mr. Rick Perry. Secretary Perry, Governor Perry, thank you very much for joining us. I'll get to Nano Nuclear in just 1 second. What do you think is going to be the ultimate outcome in the Israel-Iran situation?
Well, trying to put your finger on this one at this particular point in time may be a bit of a hat trick, but certainly the president's sending very clear messages that he's going to stay particularly close to Israel, defend them. How that turns out, we've obviously, Iran is not our friend, frankly is not a friend. I can tell, certainly not in the Middle East. They're a disruptive force there. Their effort to try to build a nuclear weapon has gone forward almost unimpeded in the last 4 years, and the president's basically put up a big stop sign and said no more. So how that works out, God only knows. Our prayers are with the folks in that part of the world that it gets worked out without a major event, even more so than what we've already seen. But I've got faith that the president has the ability to engage. Hopefully the Iranians are smart enough to figure this out, that they don't need to take on the great Satan, so to speak.
And this is not the Iranian people, is it, Secretary Perry? I mean, that's
No.
what I want to make clear. This is this is the leaders, this is the mullahs, the ayatollahs, right? By the way, the ones that we helped put in power in 1979, that aside, this is not the majority of the Iranian people. They don't want this. They don't want their country bombed.
Yeah, I lived in that part of the world in 1976 when I was a pilot in the Air Force. I was at Dhahran. We flew into Bandar Abbas over in Iran. They were our friends. And again, making good decisions long term. Sometimes we have not done that in the United States. 1979 and the results of that's a great example of it. Hopefully. I will tell you from my perspective, having different leadership in that part of the world would not be a bad thing. These are ideologues that hate America, that frankly hate most of the people in the Middle East. Hopefully America's ability to impact this in a positive way will carry the day.
And you made, as you normally do, you made such an important point, which is Iran effectively has no friends. I mean, the Saudis are not friends. They're talking to the Iranians, which is great. And, of course, they're all involved through OPEC. The Iranians are actually the rotating president of OPEC this year. But Iran seems like it's a little bit on an island. And, of course, their general ally, which has tended to be Russia, is tied up with its own war in Ukraine. Do you think that the Chinas of the world, the Riyadhs of the world can go to Tehran and say, guys, knock it off?
Well, hopefully this is an opportunity for President Trump to put together Xi with, potentially Putin. I mean, he's got his distractions, but those big three could get together and kind of show the world that we can work together. We all don't have to be enemies. We can figure out how to live in a relatively peaceful way. The Iranians, that's a strange group. That Anatolia and they are so radical. I don't know whether they will listen to common sense or not, but it's certainly worth a try. And I know President Trump will give his best efforts of negotiating a deal where that we can all live in relative peace.
Let's talk about nuclear. It's having its moment, that's for sure. And you just joined Nano Nuclear. Nano Nuclear, the best performing IPO of 2024. It's up 150% in 12 months. But this micro reactor technology is still new. Still unproving. Sounds like you're pretty confident this will work, because for all of our talk about small modular reactors and micro reactors, everything else, nothing's happening right now.
Well, it's the future. Everybody gets it. I'm closely associated with small modular reactor group that work in the idea that you can have a walk-away safe, economically feasible, zero emission source of baseload power. All of the monies that have been spent on renewables, on wind, on solar, those intermittent forms of power, you think about the billions of dollars in incentives that's been out there. I would suggest that if the federal government's really serious about having baseload power to drive the AI-driven data centers that the world is going to be needing, nuclear power is the answer. Whether it's NuScale, they're the small modular reactor company, the only one that has a permit that I know of in the United States. Whether it's Nano, which is, like you said, one of the hottest companies going out there with their micro reactors. I mean, they have the ability to build these 15 megawatt reactors. You can stack them together. You can bolt them on. You can have how much power do you need? They've got the ability to do that. If I'm making the decisions, and I think the president is certainly very supportive of this with his executive orders that we've already seen, with the people that he's put on the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, et cetera, that this is the future. America's going to incentivize it. We're going to give every reason in the world to be involved in this sector. With that said, the old standby fossil fuels of natural gas is going to be driving these power solutions that we're looking for in the AI-driven data center world. Gas-powered turbines are still a thing.
We're going to leave it there. Can't leave it any place better. Secretary and Governor Rick Perry.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that.